So it's all to play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hi, villains, and welcome to For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast with your host, Neil Dunworth. We've a win to talk about, and what a fucking win it is. And I'm not going to apologize for swearing so early in the podcast. If you've got kids that are listening to this, you might want to tell them about the real world that people say swear words from time to time, especially when they're over the moon like I am tonight. What a bloody win. We'd no right to win that. Before we get into it, I want to bring in Paddy. Paddy, as a long-suffering Villa fan yourself, I know we've been texting back and forward over the course of today, and we were both nervous, trepidation. And last night, you actually even texted me. You said, "I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep tonight."
Yeah, I am actually buzzing. Buzzing is not. I can't even explain the feeling of being one of those days that everything's gone right, because every time we've got a result, something has gone against us. But I couldn't even watch Man City. I had to go out and go for a walk, and my phone is pinging in my pocket, and I'm going, will I look? And all of a sudden it's 4-0, and I'm just buzzing now, because I just thought, okay, everything's gone our way today. What's going to happen in this one? Is there going to be a late one? Is there not? I'm lost for words. Lost for words how happy I am to see us sitting there in 17th place.
Yeah,
that's all we wanted. That's all we fucking want on Sunday.
That's all we ever wanted from this year. Any sane and salient fan this year should really have seen the wood from the trees. All we ever wanted was 17th. When me and you sat here and talked about Dean Smith staying, don't sack Dean Smith, it's because all we ever wanted was 17th for this year.
Yeah,
stability.
Like, I know we're not there yet. That is the one thing in the back of my mind. We're not there yet. We may still need to get a result on Sunday, regardless of whatever. Watford have to go away to Arsenal. It's going to be tough for them. And equally, West Ham have looked really good of late, so it's going to be tough for us. So we just need to match the result at this stage. That's
match or better it, yeah.
Yeah. But then again, Bournemouth aren't out of the running either. So
well, no, they're not.
Over our shoulder.
Absolutely.
Technically, they're not out of it.
They're not. Goal difference, like, we couldn't. If you were to rub a genie's lamp today, and the genie was to pop out, and you had one wish, your wish would be Man City to win 4-0 and Villa to win 1-0 against Arsenal.
Yeah, 100%.
It would actually probably have been. Look, I know you can't. I know you're a genie and you can do certain things, but I don't know if you're powerful enough to get Villa to win as well. It would have been probably Watford to win Watford to lose 4-0 and Villa not to concede. And 0-0 draw. I thought a 0-0 draw would have been just over the moon with it. A 1-0 win, I don't even know where to start with that. You know, it's just so brilliant. Absolutely excellent.
It's not often that I'm lost for words, but I'm actually lost for words, and just wasn't expecting the level of performance. And let's face it, it's the fucking heart that we had tonight that we've been missing for so long. That we saw a bit of it against Everton, but if we have that heart, we're not going to throw this away on Sunday. But
absolutely not.
It depends on what team turns up.
And
technically, West Ham aren't out of it, but
their goal difference is way too good. Like they've got a 12-goal lead, like and that, like, that's a 6-goal. That's they have a 14-goal lead. So like that's a 7-goal turnaround. You know, that's Watford winning by 7 and West Ham losing by 7. That ain't going to happen, unfortunately. No. So West Ham are safe. We have that solitary goal on Watford and Bournemouth. Well, we've that solitary goal on Watford. We've that solitary goal and 3 points on Bournemouth. Now Bournemouth go to Everton, who had a bit of a rally last night as well. So I think what we'll do, Paddy, is we'll come back and we'll do the permutations and everything like this, because we can look at it in the cold light of day and see what way it goes, because there's lots of things. If three teams finish on the same goals, same points, it goes down to head to head. There's loads of different things here that people aren't talking about, and the Sky reporter got it wrong tonight. So we'll come back and we'll chat about that. But tonight's game, Paddy, when the team was named, he and Elmo went off, I suppose, early in the game. I didn't really know what to think. We had defended very resolutely, but I had said it on a little video, just for those of you guys who maybe had never knew what I looked like. I was so nervous this morning. I woke up at about 6:15 and I just had to walk. I turned into Forrest Gump. If I was fit enough to run, I would have started running, but I just walked with the dog, and I must have walked for about 2.5 hours. I was really nervous this morning, and I never get like that before games. And I said, I'll do a video, because I had to do something with myself. And I said on the video that if we keep Arsenal in front of us and we don't let them get in behind us, which we didn't, we will take them. Now, they did make some changes, Paddy. They made 6 changes. Was that 6 or 4 changes? And bringing in Nketiah, bringing in Klasnic, bringing in Holding, bringing in Torreira, and I think that was it. And Saka as well.
Yeah, 4. Yeah, was it 6? I thought it was only 4. Anyway, you're probably
maybe
right.
It was 4. But they're all big players that they brought in. They're players that have really contributed for them this year, So I don't know. Like, you don't weaken that team to that level. Like, you still had a £100 million player in Aubameyang. You still had an £80 million player in Lacazette there, and you brought in a £60 million player in Pepe. Jesus.
Yeah. Like, when you see people complaining about what we spent compared to what that team is worth, it's
all relative. It's all relative. As I always say, Man United spent tons of money on Morgan Schneiderlin and Angel Di Maria, and they didn't fucking kick a ball for them the first year that they were there. So you can talk about us,
and that's the chance you take.
Money.
It's all a gamble. We took gambles. Some of them paid off, some of them didn't. And credit where it's due. The man who I've given an awful lot of stick to, he got stuck in the last couple of games and has got goals.
Yes, indeed.
Hats off to you, Mr. Trezeguet. Yeah, whatever you're drinking tonight, I presume he doesn't drink. You're entitled to a little blowout, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, by God, he took that goal exceptionally well. Again, Connor's delivery. I think we score goals when he's on the pitch.
Bandon Beckham, Paddy. The Bandon Beckham. There's too much evidence there for him not to be called the Bandon Beckham. And for any of you who don't know, Bandon is the place in County Cork in Ireland where he comes from. So that's why I'm calling him the Bandon Beckham. I'm getting it to stick. T-shirts will be available on the Monday after. Very soon. If we stay up, there will be Bandon Beckham T-shirts available.
I think they will. I think we got to do it.
Well, they will, because I'm going to put them out there. I'm going to be selling them. I copyright it.
Yeah, we'll be on Bandon Market for all of August.
Exactly. Lovely part of the world as well. Lovely part of the world.
But like, you look through the team. There was every player you come to. Yeah, brilliant. There was just a performance after performance. Jack Grealish had his best day since lockdown by far and away.
Jeez, he was great.
Samatta, even who I've been critical of, he put himself about. Didn't do a whole pile, but by God, he worked harder than he ever had. Keenan, when he came on, very unlucky not to get a goal at the end. Midfield, across the midfield, John McGinn looked as close to himself as he has done since lockdown tonight. So, hats off to them all. Some really good performances. Gilbert, when he came on, I thought he was brilliant. I thought they were frightened of him.
That tackle he does, that slide from about 15 yards, scared the living shit out of me. There was one corner came in, and he was kind of a bit central, and he just came out like an absolute missile. I was like, oh no, he's going to give away a penalty. I did when he came on. That's the first thing that went through my mind was, I'm thinking this is a penalty. Or he's going to give away a penalty, should I say? Mm-hmm. But no, he was fantastic. That little fist pump he did when he tackled the player and the ball went off and went out for a goal kick. He is. You could never you could never say that he didn't have that kind of that Gallic that different kind of Gaelic kind of will to win that maybe that he does have. He loves this club. You can tell a lot of these players love this club.
Well, my only concern with him was he wasn't up to the pace, but he quite obviously was.
A bit rash, I thought, was probably what my concern was. But his footballing skill. I always wanted him to play a bit up further.
But look, we've given ourselves more than a fighting chance at this stage. It's ours to throw away.
It's ours to throw away. Exactly.
I think if we go and get any kind of result out of West Ham, it might be enough. Obviously, I want us to go and bloody beat them and give us a bit less of a heart attack than we did tonight. But when the board went up for 4 minutes, one half of me is going, thank God it's only 4 minutes, and the other half of me is going, this is going to be the longest 4 minutes.
How many will they score in 4 minutes? That's the other half of you is good. Yeah. I will say I spoke to about 10 Arsenal fans today because I've got quite a lot of Arsenal fans in my close circle of friends, and I had been joking, asking them, listen, does Wenger still have that chef's name that he that time that Arsenal needed to beat Spurs before to finish above them back in, I think it was about 2005, 2006. And I said, do you still have his name? We might get him into the Arsenal catering team this year and see what happens.
There's one thing I'll tell you about Arsenal fans. They're extremely humble guys.
They're sound, yeah.
When the match is on, I put my phone away, as you've probably noticed, and I message at half time, and that's it. Because some people can be a couple of minutes ahead and you don't want to get caught up in that. But when I picked up my phone, the match had only been over a couple of seconds, and I had a missed call from my uncle who lives in London. He's a big Arsenal fan, and 2 messages immediately from Arsenal fans, along with a few more that came afterwards. So fair play to them. I've always been a bit of a closet Arsenal fan because of the way they've played football over the years. But fair play to them for giving us that little bit of a leg up today. It was fucking badly needed. But,
absolutely.
It makes a change from when Man United beat you and you see the horrible messages you get. So it's nice to know a few Arsenal fans.
Exactly. So let's just, I suppose, delve into the game. Obviously, look, the back four were fantastic. Ezri Konsa, since he's moved into centre half, has turned into a very, very, very nice player. I love the way he when Mings gave away the ball at the start of the second half and then nearly got in. I love the way he turned around. He gave him a bit of a clipping. He turned around and he threw the shits up him, which was good to see because for what much and all as we do love Tyrone Mings. And I know we said that probably he was something that if we had to sell somebody, he maybe was somebody we would sell. But look, it's completely different context. But it's nice to see that we have these leaders that aren't afraid to kind of hold people to account, because the worst thing you could have is an all-encompassing leader. So that was fantastic. I thought he was amazing. Matty Targett was brilliant tonight, I thought. So much went down his wing.
Yeah.
It was very good. Absolutely. Excellent.
I thought he had a measure of everything. He just seemed to be. Now, there was a couple of times where they kind of got down the outside, and I was a bit worried. But he was just, and even the one he got the yellow card for, I was a bit baffled by. Didn't see enough of a replay of it, but he seemed to go down on his knee to stop the ball. And I was going, a yellow card and everything for it. I thought
that was a penalty as well when it happened. I was just convinced there was going to be a penalty tonight. There was nothing you could do or say that was going to make me think that there wouldn't be a penalty tonight. But no, it was.
You're just passing on the look that we've had in the past, and that's what's creeping into your way of thinking.
I think it was also the 4-0 today, the City 4-0. That I thought like Carlsberg don't do starts to a game, and then you have this 4-0, which was what we need. It's like it's like as if you're playing a game of poker and you've got 2 aces, and next thing the first 2 cards out are aces, and you're going, this is fantastic. Like, now I can just sit back and see what comes to me and hope that there isn't some sort of a flush that can beat me on the table. Something outrageous will beat you. And that's kind of the way I was when we were up 4-0. I was saying everything from here is a bonus, because when they had won 4-0, I knew that we were still going to go to the last day because of the 4-0, provided we didn't get absolutely spanked tonight. And as it turned out, we didn't. And I actually thought that we would keep the game. I always thought we would keep the game close. I didn't think we would hold them to 0, but by God, am I delighted that we did. So good. Such a good feeling.
The feeling is amazing. We've suffered long and hard enough not to enjoy it, but we don't get much time in the turnaround. We've got to deal with it again on Sunday.
Yeah.
But we've just given ourselves so much hope, and I just really hope we don't do it the hard way on Sunday. I just hope we go out, get an early goal, put ourselves in a good position, and push on and get the 3 points.
Yeah.
And,
So, like
and
as good as we feel now, I think is it James Mahan in the group that we have, the Irish groups? It's the hope that kills you. That's literally. Yeah. I'm sure he is that tattooed somewhere. Yeah. Just like there was a time when I would have had, we are going to beat insert team here. I used to kind of, my optimism used to rise people inside that group, but it's the hope that kills you. And it kind of is, because no matter how high we're feeling now, it's 11 o'clock, it's 10 past 11 at night, and we're here doing a podcast. And, you know, the high that we're feeling now, the low will be 3 times as bad on Sunday if we go away and shit down the side of our leg.
That's the thing. We're 5 days away from what could be relegation.
Destiny. Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of hard work from the players, and a lot of hope that, like, the worst case scenario is that Watford win by more goals than us, which is just hard to fathom. But I think Arsenal might have enough for them. I really do.
I think the rested players tonight, like, you don't want to have a 2-week break going into the FA Cup final. Like, there's no, especially with the fact that they've had a 100-day break previous to this. Like, you hear Jack after the match tonight. He said he doesn't feel like he's been fit since he's come back from lockdown. You can't take the risk of people having 2 weeks off and going into the FA Cup final against Chelsea, and it's their only route to Europe now. They can't get into Europe. So I know, like, people say
they're true anyway, aren't they? They're true anyway, because Chelsea will get Champions League or Europa League, so that should.
Maybe so. I don't know.
The way it works. Like, I could be wrong.
I don't know. We didn't get through for finishing second in the League Cup, so
I think the League Cup has a lesser.
It probably doesn't have the coefficient or whatever it's called.
They can't qualify for Europe through the league now anyway, and they can't catch Spurs, so they don't have an awful lot to play for. So that's a worrying thing when they've got to play Watford, who are fighting for their lives. Albeit Watford looked really toothless today against a good footballing side. I think if they go into a battle with Watford could come out with something. But we'll get on to that later in the week, I'm sure. Yeah. We'll just enjoy this result for now.
Absolutely.
Funnily enough, I happened to be at the game the last time we beat Arsenal at Villa Park.
And Santa Claus.
I think it was just too good of a when I say too good, it was obviously horrific for Nigel Rogoff, who, for those who don't know, was Santa Claus coming in. One of Santa Claus's helpers came in on the parachute a week before Christmas in 1998, when we were second in the league.
Could have been top,
we were 2-0 down to Arsenal at half time. The match was delayed probably by about half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour, the second half. From my recollection, Arsenal came out and went back in. We came out firing on all cylinders, came back from 2-0 down to beat them 3-2 to go top of the league at Christmas. I made my flight by about 30 seconds, I'd say. The woman was literally changing Dublin to Malaga.
Well, I'd say the amount of liquor you consumed, you would have gone to Malaga as well.
But in my mind, I was going, do you know what? If I missed this flight, would it be the worst thing in the world to spend another night in Birmingham on the piss? But anyway, it was it all turned out for the best. But it's hard to believe we haven't beaten Arsenal at Villa Park since 1998.
Well, we have now.
Yeah. I just hate the fact that I'm showing my age even more, that I went to Birmingham on my own without my parents in 1998.
In 1998, I remember going into school after, I think it was our last day in school.
Come on now, don't rub it in.
I was in transition year, so I would have been in fourth year, I think it was. 98, I was in second year in school, so it was just after going into secondary school. Yeah, and I remember I went in and all the guys were slagging me, saying that we killed Santa Claus. And that's what my abiding memory. But we had Julian Joachim and Dion Dublin. And do you know what the classest thing ever is? Just after popping up my phone there, I put up some footage of the game and I tagged Dion Dublin asking him if he had his boots for tonight because we'd need him. He's just liked it. So, Dion, thank you very much, because I know you're listening to the pod. I know you're listening to the pod. Jesus, it feels great. It feels great to have this this feeling about it. It gives me that kind of I have this kind of the same feeling that I had after the playoff semi-final last year. I have the same kind of feeling that I had after the playoff semi-final the year before. And as Dean Smith said, this was our playoff semi-final. You know, this is leg number 2 of playoff semi-final, and we now have a playoff final. So the only thing is we can't be cautious. We can't go out there, as you said, play for a draw and hope we go to penalties, because that option isn't there. While we do have the upper hand, it can be snatched away very, very easily. And I hope and I pray that that we can do this on Sunday, and we will be back with a reaction or with a preview pod of that game, last game of the season away to West Ham. And we'll come back with all the permutations and get calculators and abacuses and newer physics scientists out and everything.
We'll look at it a bit more rationally than we are now.
Exactly, yeah, absolutely, exactly, because the serotonin levels are high now, and I suppose we'll probably look back and go, yeah. By the way, we lost this amount of possession, we lost that amount of possession, or whatever. But no, listen, there's no one going to rain on our parade tonight. We're there. We're in with a shout. 4 weeks ago, after the United game, I don't think anybody would have thought this was possible. And we're here. And I'd like to say that I've been pretty positive. I've been Mr. Positive the whole way through, and nothing's going to take me down from this. If we stay up this year, it will be one of the biggest results in this club's history. I know that might sound in the moment, and it might sound a small bit hyperbolic, but it will be the way that the world has gone and the way the footballing world has gone the last 6, 7, 10 years. We haven't stayed up with it, and if we stay up in the league this year, we can start to kind of roll up our sleeves and play ball with the big boys financially, more financially. And if we stay up for 3 years in a row, the world's our oyster, because the financial fair play really kicks in then. So this is worth an awful lot to us to stay up. But as I say, we will be back. We will talk more about all the permutations that are involved. We will talk about what we think the setup will be for Dean Smith, and we might even get a priest on and say a couple of decades of the rosary or something like that, just to make sure we keep everybody in order, beforehand, and that'd be pretty cool as well.
We should have got Father Ted yesterday, being the 20th of July.
What is the 20th of July? What happened on the 20th of July? So, guys, that's going to do it for tonight. It's a really late one, but I hope all of you are enjoying it as much as we did. Enjoy the game, should I say, as much as we did tonight. We're still in it. Enjoy the next few days. You know what? Wouldn't it be great if we were to send positive messages throughout towards the players, towards the team, all the way through this week? Make it a real kind of a parish effort, a colloquial, like almost a local effort. Birmingham, Villa, Aston, B6 against the world. No one gave us a shitter's chance of staying up, and we absolutely have it back in our own hands again, and we're not going to let this go. This look, as I say, this is all going to play out over the next few days, and I for one am absolutely delighted to sit down on Sunday and hopefully see our team retain our Premier League status. So as I say, you can find Paddy on @VillaPaddy. You can find me on @LoveMcGrathPod. And thank you to the 50 or so new followers that I had today. Mad to see what putting up a video on Twitter can do, but apparently 50 people decided that because they could see my face. But look, it's amazing.
I reckon it was 50 women that love your beard, Neil.
Yeah, but that beard isn't blonde. That beard is grey. That's 35 years of hardship in that beard, I'll tell you. But thanks to everybody who followed, thanks to everybody who will follow, and thanks to everybody who's followed since day one. It's like we're just doing this for a bit of crack, and I can't get over how many people listen to the podcast. Like, we were number 50 in soccer podcasts in Ireland here, and I know that mightn't sound like a lot, but it is. It's a lot to us, and thanks to everybody for everything you do. The pod's only going to go from strength to strength. If we stay up in the Premier League, you'll be sick of hearing from us over the summer, because we'll be so giddy like kids that we'll report on fucking everything. Don't you worry about it. So that's basically it. If you could like and share the podcast as much as you're physically able to do, that would be fantastic too. We'll be back with you probably Friday night with another podcast, or maybe early Saturday morning or something like that. And all that's left to say is enjoy your night. Hold your loved ones. Tell them you love them, but tell them you love them after you love Aston Villa, because you don't want to tell them lies either. And all that's left to say is up the Villa.
Up the Villa.